What up, what up, what up, what up? So we're here again. I'm doing another live. I'm just hanging out, and I figured out, I had a little bit of time, so let me turn my fan on. It is warm in here with these lights. Sheesh. Excuse the background noise with the fan, but it's warm here in Texas. So I just figured I'd come on here, hop on here, answer a few questions. If you guys have some guitar-related stuff, whatever, let's sit here and talk some guitars. Let me go back and look at some of the comments. Yes, sir. Hi, what's good? Killing. Sounds beautiful. That's what we were talking. Oh, sweet. People like that stuff. Howdy. Hello from South Africa. That's what's up. Yep, Hotel California. Just playing a little something. Nice shirt. Thank you. So, taking out some time. If you guys got some questions or whatever, this is a good opportunity to hop in and answer some questions. If you see some of my lessons, you like some of the stuff that I teach and I talk about, but you have some questions about, it could be something about the industry, it could be something about guitars, you're not really sure. Let's just talk. Let's just sit here and chat. What would be great is to see some chord scales. Cool. If you want some chord scales and some stuff like that, we talk about that specifically in my camp. I have this online school called Kerry's Camp. And each week we get together, we do something called campfire sessions, where we unpack songs, we unpack scales, we do the scale warm-up exercise. Is really cool. We started implementing it last week to kind of warm up. So if you want stuff like that, definitely go check out Kerry's Camp. Go to kerryscamp.com, KERRYSKAMP.com. I would love for you to be a camper. We have an amazing community as we're continuing to grow. I think at our max we were like over 800 students, but I think we're adding people. People fluctuate because we do like year-long subscriptions, whatever the case is. It's an amazing community. I've seen people grow in their craft. I've even seen some people start playing at a professional level. It's really cool. Some people just want to play for their friends and family, and that's really cool. So definitely want you to be a part of that. Hello from South Florida. That's what's up. I don't even play guitar. I just love your electric guitar jams. I appreciate it. Do you have any Chris Brown songs on your channel? Yeah, I've done some Chris Brown covers on my channel, so definitely, if you're brand new to this channel, subscribe and go through my catalog. I've got some Chris Brown stuff that I've talked about. How do you find groups to play with? What I would do if I was in your situation, I would look. Or just Google like jam sessions in my city, or like look on Instagram, people that are from your city that happen to play out, and be like, yo, where's the jam session at? Just ask around. That'd be the great place to kind of find people to play with. Need some electric guitar recommendations for me that are priced in the range from 400 to 500. I would tell you to find you a nice Fender Mexican Strat. I'm sure you could probably go find some stuff maybe on eBay that's people are selling that's probably used. That can have some great qualities. If the neck and the body looks good and it feels good, but you don't like the overall sound, just buy some pickups and switch out the pickups. You know what I mean? That's a great way, to do it. I hear church choirs and bands can be a great place to play too. Church choirs and bands, definitely for sure, but you gotta number one, make sure you can handle that responsibilities. Playing for a church choir or for a church band is a lot. And if you're not up to speed and you're not really ready to cut your teeth and break a sweat, that may not be the place for you, depending on the type of church that you're trying to play at or whatever. But yeah, it's a great place to meet people and ask musicians like, yo, where are there places to jam at around town? I would definitely do that. But if you're not ready for that responsibility, I would probably steer clear of that because that's a lot to do with. Are you familiar with the Fossil Prod? I don't even know anything about that. I got into Neo Soul thanks to him. I'm not even sure who that is, so no, I'm not familiar. Ibanez did some great guitar looks. Okay, Ibanez, I'll definitely check them out. Are you familiar with Moore's guitars with the built-in amp? I've never heard of them, so no, I'm not familiar with them. But they've got so much amazing stuff out now. They're always evolving, which is great. So that way you're not stagnant. You only have a few options, which is really cool. So you have a lot of different options. Let me see if I got some R&B acoustic stuff that I could jam over real quick while we're sitting in here. Do I have any? Let's see what this is. Close, save, yeah. Hotel, Cali. Mm. That's cool. Let me see. I'm gonna jam along with you. That's good. That's what's good. Would love to hear that. Could you do more lives of you during rehearsals? Would love the guitar view. I will try to set that up. I will try to set that up. I'll be more try to be more intentional with that when it comes to rehearsals. Trying to make sure I have everything set in place. It's just sometimes I'm not sure what the sound quality will be, and I can't answer questions or take time to do whatever because I'm trying to focus in on what I'm doing. But I'll try to do that. You know what I mean? How many hours a day do you practice when you first started? That was well over 30 years ago. I didn't know if I practiced hours a day because I was a little kid and my parents didn't allow me to spend that much time with guitar. So I didn't spend hours practicing. And when I first started, I didn't know what I was doing. I was just kind of fumbling around and doodling. So I didn't spend any hours. Why don't you do some jam tracks? Because that's not really my forte. So I'm not into just building jam tracks. And most of the tracks that I do are used for production at a later time. So that's why I don't really do a lot of jam tracks. Love your lessons. I'm all the way in Mumbai, India. Wow. You've been a gateway for loads of Indian musicians. Oh man, I really appreciate that. It means a lot. Let me see what else was in here. Mute, mute, mute. Unmute this. Okay. Uh, that's kind of a cool vibe. I'm not gonna record it, but we'll see. Besides the number system, what's the most important thing to practice? Chords. If you can't play chords, you can't play a song. And then you need to know how to work on dexterity. So you need to know the number system, but you need to know the chords. You need to work on your chord inversions or voicings, and then being able to have dexterity so you can play lines. I've been playing for about 6 months, and I need a routine to keep getting better. Watch some of my practice videos. My practice videos on YouTube explain exactly what I do. I build a track. I work on techniques every single day. But if you want more in-depth kind of stuff, become a member of Kerry's Camp. We give you a whole laid out like plan and course of action to get you like where you want to be at in your playing. Go to kerryscamp.com, KerrysKamp.com is definitely going to make a huge difference in your overall playing. I think I'm done playing acoustic. Ugh. I can never hear you at the Potter's House stream. Can they turn you up? I don't work in production, so that's something you have to tell them. I mean, people tell me all the time in church that they hear me loud, so I don't know. Maybe you should write that in the comments when you go on the thing and let them know that you can't hear me in the stream. That's that's the best thing I can tell you to do. Look at that hat. Kerry's camera's inverted. No, this hat is inverted. That's a style. Ugh. So glad you're live. Appreciate it. Dude, my grandmother broke her new Boss amp. Oh, no. She broke your Boss amp? I'm sorry, bro. Sheesh. Sweet, 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 sweet. Oh. Oh, Bent, man, appreciate that, man. At what point, it says, at what point guitar became an expensive hobby for you? It's never become a hobby for me. I've always been able to, well, I take that back. It was probably a hobby for me in high school. And then once I joined the Army, I didn't really buy that many guitars until I got out. And then that's when, but it became more of my livelihood because I got out in order to play music at a high level. So that's my story. Yeah. We need to see your guitar player. I can't see. Love your vibe. That's the point. That's the point. You can't see it because you got to sign up. You know what I'm saying? You got to sign up and become a camper. Let's go over some of this stuff for Sunday. Let's do this.
John 12:32 states that if I be lifted up from the earth, I will draw
Let's go back and read some of these questions, these comments. For everyone that doesn't know, Kerry's a professional guitarist at the highest level. Appreciate it. Thank you. I am. What do you think? Which of your popular YouTubers have you influenced? Mateus Asado? I don't know. After all, you've been sharing your knowledge. I don't know who I've actually influenced on the YouTube space. I'm sure there are a lot of people, especially people in the pickup jazz community. I know I've influenced a lot of those people, but I don't all know who has a YouTube presence like that for sure. I'm not sure that if I've ever influenced Mateus. He and I, we met like years ago. We did this thing for Vertex pedals, and we got a chance to meet there. I also got a chance to meet when he was playing for Tori Kelly and I was playing for Jason Derulo in Malta. So we got a chance to kind of talk or whatever, but I'm not sure if I've ever got an opportunity to influence what he does. Do you think there's a decline in children interested in playing instruments? Possibly, because music education in school is probably not as prevalent and as prominent as it was back in the day. So there might be a drop off. Do you this to do? Appreciate it. Let's go back to what we were playing before. Something like that. You think jamming over loops or just over songs is better, or both? Either way, you're still incorporating the same concept. Whether it was a song or a loop, it's still incorporating the same concept because you're playing with the song, you're playing in time. It depends on your intentionality, what you're doing whenever you're using if it's a loop or if it's a song. It's the same concept. Can I be effective in church with the Boss Me 80? Yes, you can be effective in any platform with the Boss Me 80. That's what I'm playing through right now. Yep, you can be effective on any platform. Ah, let's go back and grab that lick. All that church stuff, man. I'm using the Boss Me 80. You can use it on church stuff. It's great. You got to find the equipment that works best for you. You can use it in any platform. I mean, I've got stomp boxes. I've got the Helix. There's a lot of different stuff. You just got to find out what you feel comfortable with and that you can play effectively. It doesn't matter. You think jamming, we talked about that. Sounds amazing. Those maple necks look so good on PRSs. Yeah, that's true. You truly are too smooth. I appreciate it. Oh, I'm still on a lot of these licks. That's why I'm sharing this stuff. You can use it. Nice. Let's hit the like button for Kerry. I appreciate it. Definitely. Please hit the like button and share. If you're new to this channel, just join in and join me in this journey. So if you're new to this channel, please subscribe. I would love for you to be a part of this journey. If you're looking for more intentional lessons, more lessons that are going to help you play the way that I play, you like the way that I play, you like the way that I teach, check out Kerry's Camp. It's a great online community. We've got guitarists literally of all walks of life, every level. When I say have never seen a guitar before, from those that have been around guitar for years that are still trying to strive to get to a better place, or those that play professional level, we have every guitarist at every level, age frame as well. And Kerry's Camp, and it's a great online community. We do weekly lessons called Campfire Sessions. We do live monthly Q&As once a month. We really take a hands-on approach in helping you grab the goals that you have in mind. So if that's something you're interested in, I would love for you to be a part and join the community. It's kerryscamp.com, KERRYSKAMP.com. If you're new to this channel, please subscribe. Click the bell to be notified, because you never know when I'm going to hop on here and do these lives. Also, I drop weekly lessons, and I do jams. Sometimes I jam out with different songs that I see. Or if you want to, suggest a song I should jam to, let me know, because I definitely don't know all the songs that are like kind of popping or what people may be interested in. Let me know. So I definitely want to try to jam over some stuff that people are like interested in, just so you can see like the versatility that you can have with playing this style of R&B. You think Hendrix invented R&B? Nope, he did not invent R&B. What do you think about Melanie Faye? Melanie Faye is a good friend of mine. We met years ago when I lived in LA, and yeah, she's a great guitarist, great person, great personality. Like I said, a good friend of mine. So I have nothing but the utmost respect for Melanie and her craft and what she does. And she has her own signature model. So anybody that can do that, I think is super dope. Looking to get into a Les Paul. Any suggestions? Because people tell me to stay away from Les Pauls for R&B. I don't know if you can see that Les Paul on the wall. I use it for a lot of different records. The only reason why I don't play it out live nearly as much is because it's so heavy. But Les Pauls can be used for R&B. I've played on plenty of records with that guitar. So yeah, don't run away from a Les Paul just because a lot of people play it for rock and use it for other kind of alternative music. Les Pauls definitely can be used for R&B. Are there any other questions? I definitely want to try to stay on here and ask questions if I can, answer questions if I can. Before I have to get off and prepare for tomorrow. I don't mean that every kind of guitar is good for R&B. I mean that Les Pauls are good for R&B. I don't think that all kinds of guitars are good for R&B. Like there are certain guitars that are made for metal, heavy metal music. I don't feel that those are good for R&B because they're more high gain guitars, and so the sound is very high and tingy. And R&B's got to be warm, a warm sound. Any suggestions on the Les Paul model to get? I believe that one I have as a standard. I'm not like a Les Paul connoisseur, so I don't know all of the different model types, whatever, but I have a standard. I did change the pickups up, however, because I wanted a more clearer sound. I have Lambertone Cremas in there, so I mean that's always an option. If it feels good in your hand but you don't necessarily like the sound, switch the pickups out. Ibanez. Some Ibanez guitars are definitely more higher gain guitars, and I don't think that they're necessarily for R&B. Can we see what prep for Sunday looks like? You had to come to my church for rehearsal. I've already done rehearsal like on Thursday. So there's no more prep. But essentially what it is, we have a platform called Planning Center, right? So the songs come in Planning Center, and that's one of the songs I was just playing. Bless My Soul, right? It's one of the songs we had to listen. So I'll typically listen to the song. So if I feel like, oh, okay, I want to grab that lick first, I'll go through, grab my guitar and be like, yo, let me grab that lick. What's that lick? And for me, I hum out a lot of my stuff just so I can make sure I'm grabbing the notes. So, da, da. So I want to find that first note. Da, 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 da. So I just want to make sure I have that, so I'll go back. And I'll make sure I grab that lick, but I also want to listen to see what the guitar is doing in the cadence. So I may grab that lick and be like, all right, cool. Now I'm just going to sit back and listen. So I hear this hammer on. For me, I don't want to play exactly like how it is, because I still want it to be like me, but I want to make sure I'm still grabbing enough of the song, right? So I'm going to do that lick. So I'm gonna do that lick. So that lick in there, there's like a whole nother lick in there where it does this movement. I want to make sure that I'm grabbing all of that kind of stuff. So my rehearsal time, especially when I'm combing through stuff for songs on Sunday, is very meticulous. I want to make sure I'm grabbing all the parts. I'm not missing any parts, because everyone in the band is required to come to like rehearsal ready to play, not like you're learning. Now, maybe some few things that we may tweak. We may not do everything exactly like the record, but you have to have enough of a foundation to know, like, okay, if we make minor tweaks here and there, it's not like, oh, I got to learn the song from scratch. So that's kind of typically some of the stuff that I'll do. Let's go back and see. What would you recommend as a good gateway album for R&B, guitar heavy R&B? Some of the Joe albums are really heavy guitar. Some of the Jagged Edge stuff back in the day, John B, Donnell Jones, all those are like really kind of cool things to kind of listen to. I feel like gospel guitar often has so much room to come up with your own parts. Daniel, not every song is like that. There are some songs like that, but a lot of it is just really structured. Like you got to play, like this song, they got like specific parts in here. Like the guitar players, he's got to play that line. You can't just make it whatever you want to make in that spot. So there are some songs that are very specific to what you got to play. What's important if you play R&B on an acoustic? I want to avoid typical campfire sounds. Chords. You got to play R&B chords, not campfire chords, right? When you're playing acoustic, you're not playing a whole bunch of open. You're going to have to play bar chord. If you use some open chords, like make sure those open voicings still ring out and not like the traditional. Take this sound hole cover out so it doesn't mute the sound too much. Oops, that sucked. That was almost tragic. Alright, so R&B chords, right? Power chords, bar chords, if you will. Like a lot of hammer-ons, a lot of riffs when you're playing an acoustic guitar, when you're playing R&B, is really important because you're filling up the space when you're playing R&B. You're not just kind of like open chord strumming. We're not doing A minors like that. Like a lot of minor 7s, a lot of minor 11s. Whenever you're playing on an acoustic guitar, you got to let the stuff ring out, but you got to be percussive too because you're keeping the consistency of the rhythm. that kind of stuff in order to tell the story. That's what you have to do when you're playing R&B on an acoustic. You're not doing those campfire chords where you just open chords. That's not a real vibe. But if you want to know more how to do that, I've got acoustic R&B courses on my site. Go check out kerryscamp.com. KerrysCamp.com. I'm telling you, we got you straight, because I knew that question was going to come up, because I've done a lot. Like for years, I've been the acoustic R&B guy. I've gone on tours. I've done radio tours where it's just me and the artist on an acoustic, and I've had to be like that R&B guy. That's why I got called for the job, because I can play it. So I teach it. So if you want to know more stuff about that, go check out the courses on kerryscamp.com, KerrysCamp.com. Let's keep where we're going. Sometimes I'm shedding gospel and R&B stuff, and I'll find figuring out the progression or lines, but not know what to do in between. Daniel, if you're playing gospel, is like you want to find ghost note rhythm kind of stuff. R&B, you want to find tasteful placement of your lines. That's the difference whenever you're playing between. Just depend, and you got to understand the assignment of what in the band, what do you have to do? Because if you're in a band, what does the music director ask for you to do? You need to know like your specific assignment. If your assignment is just to play chords, you play chords. If your assignment is to give rhythm and feels, give rhythm and feels. If it's not that, then don't do those type of things. So you got to know the assignment, what is asked for you. Do you recommend a particular guitar brand for buying something for R&B, something that meshes well with vocals? You can never go wrong with the PRS, the Fiore, the Silver Sky. Hell, the DGT is a great guitar, you know. I'm getting older and my hands are not what they used to be. But what do you suggest? Lowering the action and getting a smaller gauge of string. So instead of having like a higher gauge, like go down to 9s. Just don't be so aggressive whenever you're trying to solo, and find something with a smaller neck. That's what I would tell you to do. Also, what do you do to find inspiration? I listen to Spotify, different playlists. That's what I do. I just discovered you, and holy cow, you're exactly what I want to be. That's what's up. That's what's up. All right, I'm gonna take a few more questions before I get up out of here and start preparing for some other things I gotta do. You play like Jimmy. I don't play like Jimmy. Jimmy and I play completely different styles. But I appreciate the compliment, though. For your preference, rhythm or chord melodies, which one is more important for a good song? It depends on who you're writing the song for. A lot of these things are tailored and kind of like unique specifically to who song you're working for. Certain artists don't want you to play a lot of rhythm stuff. They want chord melodies. Some people want more rhythm stuff. It just depends on who you're working with and what you're looking for. For example, in a jam, you playing rhythm, or would you focus in on? It just depends on who I'm playing for. I have to listen to the cadence of the artist. I have to listen to the vocal ability. I have to listen to the rest of the band to know like what my approach is going to be. Do you use a separate pedal for overdrive, or do you use the Boss Me80? I use the Boss Me80 whenever I'm playing just the Boss Me80. Now, if I'm not using the Boss Me80, if I'm using my stomp boxes, all my stomp boxes have overdrives on them. The overdrives vary depending on which pedals I'm using. So for this one over here, I'm using the Exact Tone custom pedal. It's called the Atomic Overdrive. But even on my Helix, I have 2 to 3 different overdrive patches on my Helix because the overdrives are different. Some overdrives are more like for the neck position on a Strat, while others are for the bridge position, so I can definitely solo and melt paint off the walls. And some are for like just a little bit of dirt, so they all vary depending on what the assignment is and that I'm doing. I'm enjoying your teaching. Would like to meet you. If you want to meet me, I'm in Dallas. I'm easy to find. What's the easiest way to see chord tones while soloing over changes? Focus in on the 2 and the 6. If you focus in on the 2 and 6 and you use those two to kind of help kind of paint the picture, you'll find a plethora of like gold in there, because the minor pentatonic is over the 6. And I know people like, I'm tired of playing the minor pentatonic shape. You don't have to play the shapes. You can pick the notes out of there. So it's like, it's a bag of gummy bears, right? And you can pick what kind of flavors you want. The gummy bears, the bag is where the gold is, but you can pick out what flavors you want. That's why it's really cool to kind of like use the 2 and the 6 to pick out different note variations in order whenever you're soloing. Am I currently in a band / group in Dallas area? I play the Potter's House. I don't play for any group specifically in Dallas. I didn't move here to Dallas to kind of play in a group anymore. I do more teaching more than anything, but I play at the Potter's House, the main Dallas campus. So come to the church service, you'll probably see me there on Wednesdays and Sundays. But as far as a group that's here in Dallas, I haven't really kind of like tested the market because that's not really my focus. Where I'm at in my career, y'all see all those lanyards on the wall over there? That's like all the tours. I've been on so many tours. I played for so many different artists. So I don't really, the touring stuff is cool. I love it. Don't get me wrong. It's just not my main focus. While I'm here, I want to focus in on really giving back and empowering the next generation. It's really keen for me to make sure that at this place in my career where I've always wanted to be, I'm able to reach out and teach and inspire the next group. So that's what I'm focusing on. I want to focus and teach people that are on this platform, people that are in my school. Would I love the opportunity if it made sense? Like, I'm not just jumping out there to play for anybody. It's got to make sense. Because all of the stuff that where you kind of cut your teeth and you grind and you like get in the van, you drive. I've done all that. I've done the Chitlin circuit. I've done the van tours. I've done the Sprinter van tours. I've done like the bus tours. I've flown out. I've done international. So I've done a lot of different things. So for me to go backwards to like some things just doesn't make sense. Now, could I be a consultant? I would love to be a consultant. Come in and sit in and be like, yo, how can you help our band get better? I would love to do stuff like that. I think that's kind of cool. That's kind of like the next phase of like where I want to be in my career when it comes to that. I think that would be kind of cool, a new challenge per se. What kind of trim system do you have? I think I'm upgrading the Vega trim system is what I have on my Strats. I think it's super cool. I'm going on tour for 2 weeks. Any recommendations to staying focused, or what tips? Understand the assignment. You are there as the guitarist, right? So do your assignment. Understand that the fans will be there. Enjoy the moment, but don't get so caught up in the limelight of what you're doing that you act out of character. Remember, I'm just going to tell you a couple tips. When you're on these tours, it's personal hygiene and it's personal accountability. So being a good person, being a great hang is cool, but also don't do stuff that's going to get you in trouble, that's going to bring a black eye to the artist that you're working for. That'd be the first way to get fired. But yeah, like clean up after yourself, good personal hygiene on the van, bus, whatever you're doing, flying these different dates. Don't be late. Don't miss lobby calls, and know what you're playing. They may change the set list sometimes depending on where you are. Know the music, and also just be a good people person. Enjoy the moment, take pictures, connect, network. That's the greatest thing that you can do when you're on tour. Would it be possible to play some neo soul sounds after every few questions? I've been playing a whole bunch, so I'm tapped out. I'm just answering questions. I'm about to hop off anyway, but that's a great thing. Do you have any odd chords? Uses passing chords? No, my main thing when I'm doing passing is just diminish. I like diminish the overall tones, especially when it's R&B. I just feel like it fits better. If I'm playing jazz, then I'll use some augmented chords. But if I'm not playing jazz, that's not necessarily where I want to go. All right. Does your Silver Sky have a humbucker in it? Yes. I got it modded and put in a Lambertone Crema in there. I'm going to take one more question, then I'm going to get up out of here. So make sure it's a good one. Appreciate it. I'm going to take one more question, and I'm going to get up out of here. go. You guys are more than welcome, more than welcome. Who is my musical inspiration? I take influence from Spanky Alford. This is the last question, by the way. I take influence from Sean Hinton, Eric Walls. I can't play like Eric Gales, but I'm inspired. Mark Lettieri. I can't play like Mark, but I'm inspired. I'm inspired by Mateus Asado. I can't play like Mateus. I'm inspired. Chris Payton. Can't play like Chris, but I'm inspired. Did I say Jubu? If I didn't say him, I'm saying him again because he's a huge musical influence. Kevin Wilson. Eric Dubose. Yo, if y'all don't know about Eric Dubose, man, like, so story time real quick. Eric Dubose and I grew up together in Birmingham, Alabama. He left-handed guitar player. Yo, honestly, man, is probably one of my most favorite guitar players. I don't think I've even told him this enough. But Eric, if you guys know Eric, he used to play for Babyface, plays for Patti LaBelle, has played for, what's the dude's again? I can't remember the name of the artist. It's skipping my mind, but he plays for Tevin Campbell. He's played for Tevin Campbell. He's played for Ruben Studdard. He's played for a lot of people. One of my favorite guitar players because not only does he have the chords, but Eric has his soloing tones and how he can solo like somebody's singing is just incredible. We grew up together, man, just to see where he's going in his craft and where I'm going in my craft. It's probably one of my favorite guitar players that's really influenced my playing. Let's see who else. Eric Johnson, B.B. King, Eric Clapton, Norman Brown, some George Benson. Just to name a few. That's not everybody, but let's just name a few. So just to name a few. I hope you guys have had a great one. Hope you guys have enjoyed this. If you're brand new to the channel, do me a solid, subscribe to this channel, click the bell to be notified because I'll do this from time to time. If you're interested or you're curious about Kerry's Camp, go check it out. Kerry's Camp is a cool platform where we teach people at all levels. I mean, if you're a beginner where you've never seen a guitar before, but you just like it, we got you. If you've been around guitar for a couple years, but you still can't play, we got you. You've been around guitar for a couple years or just new to it, but you can play a little bit, we got you. You've been around guitar for 12 plus years and you can play a little bit, you kind of play around locally, but you want to go to the next level, we got you. I don't care if you play for somebody who's professional right now, but you want to like advance whatever, we got you. So check it out. KerrysCamp.com. And I would love to have you be a camper. All right, so y'all take care, peace, and I'll see you guys next time.